Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Savannah Chrisley brings wife of prison inmate on show. Savannah Chrisley brought the wife of an inmate on the show. This shocked fans as the inmate is in with Todd Chrisley. The Chrisley family has been struggling a lot lately. However, there may be a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to Julie Chrisley. Regardless, Savannah is going to continue to fight and advocate for her parents. Keep reading to find out more. Julie Chrisley gets resentencing. There may be some hope for Julie Chrisley. The court threw out her conviction because there was not enough evidence to support her sentencing, so this means she gets a resentencing hearing. This may allow her to get out on time served or at least get a lesser sentence. This is huge for the Chrisley family. Julie asked to attend the hearing via Zoom, but her request was denied. This worried her children as she was going to have to travel across the country shackled and with violent men. Regardless, this is something that could change their lives and fans think they should be grateful for that. Savannah Chrisley brings inmate's wife on show. Savannah Chrisley brought Hannah Walker on her podcast. Her husband is in prison with Todd. They were talking about the justice system and all things legal. Fans were not having it with the discussion. First, I thought it was weird that they wouldn't say what Patrick was in for. I googled and I'm sorry, but that woman gets zero sympathy from me. Taking COVID funds for their business to turn around and buy some fancy island. Give me a freaking break. Tell me why his ass doesn't belong there. The island is *wild*. It's nice to see someone being sentenced for something that was obviously a choice they knew was wrong, in all ways. Should throw them in the same jails as people who stole food for their kids, though. Birds of a feather. Lol, wow, I didn't even consider what he was locked up for. What a scam to try and get sympathy. An island? Lol, just wow. Savannah Chrisley sat quietly in her chair, her eyes scanning the notes laid out before her. This episode of her new show, Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, was different. It wasn't about fashion, lifestyle tips, or playful family banter. Today's guest had a story that was raw, emotional, and deeply personal. Savannah knew this episode would stir emotions, both for her audience and herself. The camera rolled, and with a deep breath, Savannah greeted her viewers. Hey y'all, welcome back to Unlocked. Today's episode is really special to me. We're talking about love, loss, resilience, and redemption. My guest today is someone who knows all too well what it's like to fight for hope when the odds are stacked against you. Please welcome Sarah Jenkins, the wife of a man serving a life sentence. Sarah stepped onto the set, her face a mixture of nerves and determination. She was tall and slender, her dark hair tied back in a loose ponytail. There was an undeniable strength in her eyes, the kind of strength born from years of battling heartache and holding on to hope. She was here to tell her story, to share what life had become since her husband, Michael, had been sentenced to prison 5 years ago. Savannah greeted her with a warm smile and a hug, instantly breaking some of the tension in the room. Sarah, I just want to thank you for being here today. I know this isn't easy, but I really believe that your story will help so many people who are going through similar struggles. Sarah nodded, her voice steady but soft as she began. Thank you for having me. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and when I heard about your show, I knew this was a platform where I could be open, where I could share without fear of judgment. Savannah's show had recently taken on a more serious tone, reflecting the personal trials she had endured since her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, began serving prison sentences. It had been a journey of coming to terms with the reality of the justice system, the stigma attached to incarceration, and the way society treats the families left behind. For Savannah, this wasn't just another episode. It was a reflection of her own growth, her own understanding of what it meant to be the daughter of inmates, and the toll it took on a family. Sarah's voice trembled slightly as she continued. Michael and I met in high school. We were just kids, but we knew we wanted to spend our lives together. He was my first love, my only love. We got married when we were 20 and everything was perfect for a while. But then, life threw us a curveball. The camera zoomed in on Savannah's face as she listened intently, her expression empathetic and thoughtful. She knew that feeling all too well. The unexpected twists, the sudden shifts in life that leave you questioning everything. Michael made a mistake, Sarah said, her voice cracking. He got involved with the wrong crowd, made some bad decisions, And one night, those decisions led to a terrible accident. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and someone lost their life. The trial was brutal, and in the end, he was sentenced to life without parole. Savannah felt a lump rise in her throat. The pain in Sarah's voice was palpable, and it mirrored the emotions Savannah had wrestled with in her own life. The Chrisleys had always lived in the public eye, their mistakes laid bare for the world to see. But Sarah's story had a different layer. This wasn't about fame or fortune, it was about love, loyalty, and the devastating consequences of one bad decision. "I've been fighting ever since," Sarah continued, her hands trembling slightly in her lap. "I visit him every chance I get. I've written letters to every politician, every organization that might be able to help us. But it's hard. People don't want to see the human side of someone who's been labeled a criminal. They don't see the man I know, the man who's filled with regret, who wants to make amends. They just see the crime." Savannah wiped away a tear, her voice soft but resolute as she responded, "You're so brave, Sarah. I can't even imagine how difficult this journey has been for you, but you're here and you're still fighting for him. That says so much about your strength, your love." The conversation flowed easily between the two women, diving deep into topics that were often brushed under the rug in mainstream media. The emotional toll of prison life on families, the societal stigma attached to inmates and their loved ones, and the brokenness of a system that often leaves little room for redemption. Sarah's story resonated deeply with Savannah. In many ways, it paralleled her own struggles with her parents' imprisonment. Though their situations were different, the pain and isolation were the same. Savannah had learned firsthand how society viewed families like hers, how quickly the world could turn its back on you when scandal struck. But she also knew that there was power in sharing these stories, in giving a voice to the voiceless. As the episode drew to a close, Savannah looked directly into the camera, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "I know that not everyone watching will understand or agree with the choices that have been made, but I hope that Sarah's story has opened your hearts a little. We're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all deserve a chance at redemption. No one should have to go through this alone." Sarah smiled through her tears, her heart lighter than it had been in years. She had shared her story, and in doing so, she had found a sense of peace. Maybe the world wouldn't change overnight, but today she had been heard, and for that she was grateful. As the credits rolled, Savannah reached out and held Sarah's hand. "You're not alone in this," she whispered. "We're in this together." It was more than just a show. It was a message of hope. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always light to be found, if you're willing to look for it. Savannah Chrisley, the glamorous and resilient star of Chrisley Knows Best, has never shied away from sharing her life with the world. From navigating the tumultuous waters of fame, family drama, and personal growth, she has shown viewers her strength in the face of adversity. But in a recent, unexpected turn, Savannah decided to take her platform in a new direction by inviting the wife of a prison inmate onto her show. This bold move sent shockwaves through her fan base and the media alike, sparking conversation and curiosity about what Savannah had up her sleeve. The episode was teased for weeks before airing. Savannah had cryptically mentioned in interviews that she had a special guest who would be joining her, someone with an extraordinary story. Speculation ran wild. Fans wondered if it was a celebrity friend, a mentor, or even a surprise family member, but no one could have anticipated what Savannah had planned.